Hello and welcome to the DFS_PhD show for today, the 13th of February. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us. So close. 36th in the big one yesterday. Paul Reed playing weird rotation minutes. Didn't know what that was about. Wish that hadn't happened. That was really what killed me. And I mean, and same with Doncic. Like, he got hurt and disappeared for like half the game. Still scores 70 points in like the remaining game, missing his shots at the end, missing his one of his two garbage time free throws. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Of course, Scottie Pippen got hurt, but he was in a lot of people's teams, so that's not going to be what holds me back from winning. Maybe I get back to like, I don't know, 15th or 10th or something if Scottie Pippen has a great day. But fun day overall, and got close, and on the day where it was easiest to get 150 chances at the 100K was all right. I kept waiting to see if we would get news from shoot around for the Heat, and we haven't gotten it yet, so I keep looking for it. We don't really have line movement either. I was looking to see if we could read some tea leaves on that. So, oh, okay. Yeah, actually, I didn't put in my regular rules, so let me do that. There's a couple of regular rules we're missing here. So Minnesota and Portland, Minnesota guys, you know what I like to do. 40, 44, and Nas Reed up to 28. And 30%, 5%. Nas Reed is fine. And then I don't know what I think the odds are the other guys hit their ceiling. 20%. Gobert has a non or defensive player of the year kind of game against a bad player. They are bad players. It might be a blowout. Let's count for that. 15% chance. I don't really want any of the top guys in this game, but Nas Reed would definitely get blowout time. And I don't really ever want more than like 15% Conley or Jaden McDaniels. Oh, 10% Jaden McDaniels. He's got no upside. He doesn't really do much, even when he's doing his best. Okay, so let's go look at that. Other things we like to do. And now I need to go over here to the rule. I haven't set this rule yet because I forgot to do it earlier. Minnesota, 2 out of 3 bigs. It's done us pretty well throughout the years, so we're going to keep doing it. Then we've got the max for Phoenix. Let's see if everybody's in. Booker, Beal, Durant. Yes. So they're all in. That means we want to do a max 2 out of 3. What about New Orleans? They're on the slate now. Ugh. Sorry, I took a midday nap, so I'm feeling a bit weird. Okay, so 2 out of 3 of Booker, Beal, and Durant. I don't know. They're already kind of at their upper end. I don't, yeah, I don't like any of them today, really. So I'm not going to force them in there with our usual rule because I don't know, 55 is that? Well, let's look at the top. Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't really want KD that to be behind LeBron, but it might be okay. He's in front of Jason Tatum. It's a 9-point blowout. That's the one thing with Tatum. I'm just trying to figure out where I put these guys. Okay. I think I might leave them where they are just so nothing crazy happens. Up at the top. Okay, so let's look at exposures now. I don't, okay, so obviously I'm going to rerun this and get a different thing that includes more Minnesota guys. I could make it include more Phoenix guys. And let's look, is that no, okay, it's a non-New Orleans game. We don't have to do anything with the stars in the last one. I still don't really know. We got weird rotations, though. I'll just mention it. For Denver, or sorry, Detroit, we got weird new rotation, and I don't know what to do with it. Obviously, Fontecchio starts off not that great. They give him a regular shift, and then in the second half, he makes every single thing, and they leave him in the entire game. He didn't even really make that many points. That's why I don't really know what to do with this rotation. It was such a weird rotation, and I also don't know what to do with this weird rotation for Philly. So why do they keep playing? I mean, it's not important for today, but what are they doing in the second half? Running like weird rotations with Reed and Bamba, and like I don't get it. It's like they're making Reed the Valanciunas in the situation or something. Okay. Uh, All right. So here we are. Back over at the slate. I don't want that much De'Aaron Fox. There's just no reason for it today. He's fine, but he shouldn't be at more than fine levels. Okay, so yes, people who are more than fine today. There's only one thing on the slate today, and how much we lean into it is why I was waiting for the shoot around news, which we, again, just to double check, still do not have because we've got some interesting guys in a blowout over here. I mean, Haywood Highsmith is probably even fine. Let's have a look at these current projected minutes. Yeah, Haywood Highsmith, Kevin Love, they're fine. I don't know why I've got them out. I guess it's just the other guys are a little bit better value, but Haywood Highsmith can hit some shots. Kevin Love can hit some shots. Um, but generally speaking, we know who, the guy's out. The main guy's out for Miami. Jimmy Butler's not there. And so, you know what we should do? What we normally do in this circumstances, we go over to Court IQ, and I haven't done it yet. So, sleeping on my process a little bit over here, in addition to actually just sleeping since my kid got me up at like 1:30. And so, yeah, definitely dragging over here. But let's see. Jimmy Butler off the court. Dun, 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 dun. Thomas Bryant. Obviously, that's not where we're going with this. But we are getting a lot of points too. Incredible usage for Kevin Love when he's out there. Bam, up at the top, 45. Get him a little bit higher. I'll let him stay a little bit higher. Herro at 39. A little bit higher. I'll let him stay a little bit higher. What about Caleb Martin? 30.5 in a 500-minute sample. Okay. 30.5. I think that's appropriate. I think you should probably get more Caleb Martin than this current sample is getting. Duncan Robinson, where's he on our list of court IQ? 29.1. So if he's getting, let's see the minutes. If he's getting those minutes, yep. Yep. So we got to get him up at like maybe not 29, but 28 minutes because he's not quite getting a full 36. But anyway, Duncan Robinson, very good play. Caleb Martin, very good play. Tyler Herro, very good play. Bam Adebayo, pretty good play. Not really that much affected by Jimmy being out. Now that I'm thinking about that, that's exactly how it is, right? He's just completely not affected at all. 0.3, yeah. So let's take some of these guys who are getting significant playing time differences instead of Bam today. Because people get to Bam anyway, but it's not like a reason. So I'm just gonna cap Bam at like what everybody else has him at, and just jam these other guys. Because these other guys, I mean, what's time at? He's in 35 minutes today. So Jaquez, 29.89. He should be a little higher. Up at 29. So ton of Jaquez, ton of Caleb Martin. I mean, sorry. I guess in order of value, it is Duncan Robinson and Jaime Jaquez. Now let's talk about it because I was waiting on the news. What do we do if Duncan Robinson out? Duncan Robinson is out. Then it becomes very interesting, right? Because number one, you get more Haywood Highsmith minutes. Probably it goes up to like, I don't know, he becomes one of the better values on the slate. But I don't even know if they do that. Like, I don't know what to do with it because they have called up Alondes Williams. And so, like, you used to throw your darts on Jamal Cain on this kind of slate, but a lot of people, I've heard some rumblings about Alondes Williams. He might get some minutes today. I think if Duncan Robinson, oh, excuse me, if Duncan Robinson is out, that kind of makes sense as a place to go for them to run some Alondes at the one. Was Duncan Robinson seeing point guard minutes? No, right? I'm not sure I really buy my own thing here. Duncan Robinson is coming in. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, he is. Well, Josh Richardson is who I would say is running the point, but Josh Richardson is out, right? That's what it is. Okay. That's what makes it. I just had to make sure I understood the rotations that got us there. Josh Richardson being out is what brings Alondes Williams into play. not Duncan Robinson. So Duncan Robinson being out, maybe also a little bit, but mostly those backup point guard minutes are available, and we're not sure what's going to happen. So one of the existing guys, Caleb Martin, probably run some point forward, I guess. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's a lot more interesting if Duncan Robinson is out. We'll have to think about it. So come on over. Let's think about it in the Discord. Besides the Miami guys, I haven't made any edits really today yet. I don't think. I did the Minnesota guys after we started, so we won't have the proper forking there for this particular run. But we're going to get a ton more Nas Reed than we currently had. That makes sense. He's a good value. Jalen Wilson, apparently we're not expecting him to get that kind of work every game. I don't really see how we're getting to this much of him right now. Let's look at Brooklyn. I think I don't have any news there, right? So how many minutes are we expecting from him? 22. Is that right? Let's go to Brooklyn. See the last game. And obviously, there could be people missing or new people. I'll have to think about that separately. Go over to Brooklyn. We see Jalen Wilson. He played 30 minutes. So 22 minutes. Somebody back? I don't think so. Was it Ben Simmons? Was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in the rotation? Or 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They went 9 a little bit, but mostly 8. So 8 in the rotation. And Jalen Wilson was coming in behind DFS. And I don't think I see. Yeah, so I think I would expect him to get these minutes again. Was this a blowout? Yeah, this was a blowout in the end. So these last minutes from him, you can't really expect. 29.9 in the last 5, maybe he doesn't normally close. 24. But regardless, I think you have to get higher than 22. Yeah, I think I get with Jalen Wilson a few more minutes here, but I mean, he's just not that attractive of a play, I guess, in the current setup. So I think I probably will not get to that much Jalen Wilson. Oh wow, now it's saying 50%. All right, let's give it a chance to think it over and rebuild. I'm gonna do this a few more times before the slate, so it's not like it's the last one anyway. But now let's see. Do I have any other further thoughts on the slate? We dig into it a little bit. Any of these centers need a few more minutes? Not. Oh yeah, let's look at it by centers. Claxton against Boston. How many minutes are they giving him there? 30. Is that right? Let's go and look. We just had that one up. Claxton played 27, but he missed the blowout minutes, which are 4, so he would have had 31 in a blowout, in a non-blowout. So, yeah, that's like about what we got him, right? Yeah, 30.3. Okay. It's appropriate number of minutes. Chet, Aiton, I guess Aiton, how many minutes is that from Aiton? He's got upside. It's not pretty. 34? Is that right for Portland? Having DeAndre Ayton play 34 minutes. Let's have a look. Survey says 37. That's what I thought. I think Ayton's out there a bit more. And what is Hagens? This is terrible. Okay, so a few more minutes to who was I just saying? Ayton. I think Ayton's out there maybe like 35 minutes. Not that he's an attractive play on the slate still. Probably get to almost no Ayton, but I mean, they're big. You know what I mean? Minnesota versus Portland. There's no opportunity between Gobert and Cat and Nas Reed for DeAndre Ayton to not play minutes here. He has to play his full allotment of minutes. It's a lot of minutes. Was it 37? What were we saying? It was? 37 is a lot. Yeah, 37 is a lot. 37 is a lot different than what they were saying. I guess I have to take some props on DeAndre Ayton today. I still don't want very much DeAndre Ayton, but I have to account for that upside case. I mean, speaking of upside cases, obviously we saw Chet or not Chet Holmgren, the Wembanyama. You know, who knows when Chet's going to have his Wembanyama day? He's not quite the same level of dude, but you don't have to be quite the same level of dude to get some real good points. Okay. No trail allows anymore, huh? Oh, right. This is a new run. I don't know what any of them are. So let's see where we settled on the rebuild. This is all Miami people or something? Oh, centers, right. Okay, so Duncan Robinson, Jaime Jaquez, Caleb Martin, Herro. Yeah, same guys. And how much we get to again, as I say, like I'm not sure exactly how much I'll allow. Um, and it will be more than 50% if Duncan is out. Then the remaining guys I'm gonna lean into like yeah, it's gonna be a lot of a stand. Now I'm not getting to, I think you'll see, yeah, not getting to very much of the top guys, even with a boosted Giannis. Well, I see 15, yeah, okay. So limited him to 15%. Now that I see I'm going to be having a lot of the Miami guys with as well, I'm going to allow this to go up to at least double, 24%. Let's make it 30% to be 2.5 times the field on Giannis if it's allowed. Yeah, okay. So we got good lineups there. The reason being that I think those lineups will now have like both Giannis and the Miami guys. And so there's a nice situation where Miami guys keep it close and it's a really fun game stack. Now, Malik Monk, right, that's the other rule we have here that we can activate. Max 3 out of 4 Sacramento Wings. Haven't activated it yet. But guys on the wing that we just don't know who it's going to be, but really all of them are good plays. So Malik Monk, good play. Keegan Murray, slightly less good, but a good play. Harrison Barnes has upside. Can't just pretend these low end games are where these guys are. And I'm always disappointed when I look in at the actual like player histogram and it doesn't show the minutes variety. Like we got a little bit of a double edge here, but I think the actual histogram for some of these guys on teams with rotations that they're clearly getting minutes or they're not getting minutes should be not normal. And I'm not seeing that here, so that's why I'm biasing it to get what I assume is the normal component of they get the minutes. Okay, so Monk, Murray, Barnes, and Herter, the current people involved in that rule, no more than what, 5%, 10%? I mean, Herter's still not a good play, so no more than 5%. Harrison Barnes becomes a good play, but only because of what I did, 12%. Keegan Murray, pretty good play in general, but an even better play with what I'm thinking. So let's say 35% it's Keegan, 35% it's Malik Monk. They rotate these guys, is what I'm saying, and I don't know which it's going to be, so that's how we're going to deal with it. It's the perfect situation for playing MME. You just don't have to have the headache of the single enter person. You'll have those guys be dead weight in the lineups where they're dead weight, and they will take you to the top if they need to take you to the top. Maxing out Haywood Highsmith now. We'll see how much. All right, all the Miami guys need your attention today. You need to know what you've done with every single active Miami guy today. It's a stand. So I don't want to be underweight on Haywood Highsmith if everybody's agreed it's going to be Haywood Highsmith day. I mean, it's just like it's a thin case. He still has to hit shots. And I mean, how many minutes are we giving him? That's the real question. 26 minutes. All right. If we really think he gets out there for 26 minutes, then I'll give him as many percents as he gets minutes, because that's a lot of minutes. Oh, okay. I'm only getting to a little bit more, even when I allow more. All right, good. So I don't have to play it. Same thing with Kevin Love. Doesn't look like I have to manipulate anything more. All right, cool. Well, so wait, I did the Sacramento guys. So we'll eventually have to rerun it. Obviously, I'm going to get more of those Sacramento guys. That's the whole point of doing the rule, is to get a little bit more than we used to have of Keegan Murray, Malik Monk, and Harrison Barnes and Herter. So I guess what I'll say is Keegan Murray and Malik Monk are both 20%-ish, and that's about probably closer to right than it should be. Maybe both of them, actually, they're both pretty cheap. They're both less than 6K, right? Yeah. So they are reasonably priced and probably get there. But we've seen games where Harrison Barnes hits a few shots and closes, and we've seen games where Kevin Herter hits a few shots and closes. So those guys being 1.5% and 6%, so like a third and I don't know, 15th the ownership, that's where I would prefer to be today. So I'm gonna, when I rerun this, I assume that's what we'll see. But I just wanted to bring up what's the point of doing that rule in particular. And people ask me what, to be clear about what rules I have. This is the rule I'm talking about. Max 3 out of 4 of Keegan Murray, um, Harrison Barnes, Kevin Herter, Malik Monk. The other rules I have active in this build, max 2 out of 3 of the Phoenix Big Three. The Big Three are Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. Normally I change their projections, but today I already think they're kind of highly projected, so I'm just using the fork to clarify a background correlation. Then max out 2 out of 3 of the Minnesota Bigs. This is Naz Reid, Gobert, and Karl Anthony Towns. We're taking advantage of Gobert being basically Naz being the backup to both of them for foul trouble. So if either of them get in foul trouble, you'll probably see a little bit of Naz. And a little bit of Naz is a lot of a good thing. So you got to make sure you're on these things. So those are my rules so far for today. If you got other rules, drop them in the Discord, drop them in the YouTube comments. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys going and watching the video. As expected, a little bit of Kevin Herter, a little bit more of Barnes. I think that is like 12%. That seems low. Thought I decided like 15. I don't know. I'll go a little higher on Barnes probably eventually. I want to be higher on Barnes than I am on Lyles. Anyway, these other guys are obviously the people who got boosted the most by the play. And it's just a high scoring game environment. It's fine to have a fair amount of these guys. It's just don't go overboard because Fox has to hit shots. All these guys have to hit shots. I mean, to some extent, even Domantas Sabonis has to hit shots to get his absolute top value. Unlike with some of the bigs, like I don't know, Jokic can get there with a zillion passes and rebounds and whatever. Kind of a lot of points expected still from Sabonis, 21. I guess that's not really a good point when Giannis is expected to get 31 points and way less of peripheral stats. So not a great point. He's not dependent on points. But I'm also not limiting him and still not getting to very much Sabonis, so that's why he's not part of the conversation. That's the core, though. Duncan Robinson, Jaquez, Caleb Martin, and Herro. The guys who get extended in the absence of Jimmy being out. They're the plays. Don't get cute at this point. If we get more news, it seems like the only news we're getting right now is more Miami guys out. So my only move would be to slightly concentrate this play to go to close to 65% on whatever remaining Heat guys are there. But that's all I got to say. So let's say you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us.